Hi everyone, my name is Azrika and I want to welcome you back to my channel. And if this is your first time, I want to welcome you here. And today we're going to be talking about something I think we all wonder and something I think we all search for: purpose and meaning. Like, why am I here on this earth? What am I supposed to do? And so let's get right into it. So a lot of animals migrate seasonally. That means they move from one location to the next. For example, Canadian geese, they move from the north to the south in pursuit of warmer weather. And wildebeest and zebra, they move in pursuit of vegetation, in pursuit of food. So they migrate seasonally. They go to one location and they return back home. And this is all instinctual. It's not something that they've been trained to do. Well, maybe they've been trained in that they see their parents do it. It's hardwired in them to just go in pursuit of warm weather, in pursuit of food, in order to mate. It's just something that's in them. And I think, much like these animals, we are hardwired to migrate. By that, I mean we make two migrations just like the animals. We migrate to a foreign land and we migrate back home. Migrating to a foreign land, I think it can represent just our pursuit of what we give to the world. Migrating back to our home looks like understanding who we are, who we were created to be. So much like these animals who move on instinct, I think it is hardwired in us to want to seek what we give or what place we fit in this world, and also who we are at our core. And I think those two things are pivotal in living a life of purpose and living a life of meaning, of happiness, of joy and contentment. Is a constant migration between what we give to the world and our internal stability and an understanding of who we are. And so today I want to share 5 tips that I've realized have helped me better understand my path and is helping me to live a life that I am proud of. I think that these tips can not only be applied to me, but hopefully to you as well. So tip number 1, find your why. And what do I mean by that? Finding your why to me is, why do you believe you were put on this earth? Like a principle that governs your decisions, a principle that governs your life. For example, for me, I realized that living a life of purpose means giving a life of purpose. I want to live a life that is centered around service to others, that's centered around constantly learning and becoming better for myself and better for others. A life of just full enjoyment and community. That is my why. So whether it's I'm a writer or I'm a public speaker, I'm doing these actions so that I can live purposefully and give purposefully. And I think when you understand what your why is and make that a foundation, then anything else and everything else falls into place. So take time to understand your why. What principle, what concept, what role, what hope governs you at the core of who you are. For me, it's service and community. For you, it may be organization, it may be adventure, it may be, I don't know, there's just so much, and that's something that only you can decide. So take time to understand your why and hold on to that. Keep your why as almost like your northern star. Wherever you land in life, if you are honoring your why, your soul will be filled. Number 2, find your purpose. And by purpose, I mean the thing that you lend to the world, the thing that you give to the world. You can find your purpose at the intersection of your pain and your passion. And by that, I mean this: find the things that makes your soul whole, that brings your heart alive, that makes you feel complete and rejuvenated. And also find the things that breaks your heart, whether it's from personal experience, like if you've been abused, if you've experienced great failure, if you've been abandoned, experienced great loss. Combine those things together, because we have an equal amount of drive to live out our passions and to redeem our pains. So for example, I have a passion for writing and public speaking, and I have a pain for abandonment, for people who are considered outcasts, those on the fringes, those who don't feel like they belong. That always touches my heart. So my sweet spot is when I use the things that I love: photography, writing, music, cooking, and make people feel like they belong and defend people. So for you, the sweet spot of purpose is the thing that thrills you and the thing that breaks you. Finding that middle ground, so you use your gift to redeem and to honor the things that broke you apart, or the things in this world that really get to you. That's your purpose. So again, it takes time to understand the things that make you whole and the things that break you. But when you do, find your purpose in that sweet spot. Tip number 3. Find your team. So I'm a big proponent in destiny being a team sport. I've just come to understand that we were meant to do life together. We were meant to love and be loved because our Creator is love. And also He's a squad. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They roll deep. So we were meant to do life together. Find the people who see the world in a way that supports you and challenges you equally. And all of it is done in love. Find your lookouts. Find your lighthouses. Find the people that cover your academic, your spiritual, your emotional, your financial blind spots. As in, the way they see the world makes up for the gaps in your sight. And that adds to just living a life of purpose, a life of meaning. Because again, the people we keep around have such a heavy impact on who we are and who we become. So find the people that want the best for you and from you. They won't settle with you living below your potential. So find your team. Tip number 4, find your path. And by find your path, I mean, how do you live out this life of purpose? For example, you could be good at writing, but not end up being a writer. You could love science, but not end up being a scientist. What path do you take to fulfill this purpose? Look at the assets you have, whether it's intellectually. Look at the assets you have emotionally. If you are someone that is naturally empathetic, if you're someone that is naturally creative, if you're a dreamer, if you're analytical, if you're organized, all of those are assets. It's funny because the world sees certain things as talents. You're talented if you can speak. You're talented if you can sing, if you can draw, if you're beautiful, if you're an actress. But there are so many talents out there that are underplayed, but really they're absolutely beautiful. If you're hospitable, that's an amazing talent. If you're detail oriented, if you are practical, those things are beautiful talents, and those are your assets. Assets also include not just your talents and your gifts, but family connections, opened and closed doors. What opportunities are at your fingertips, whether they're big or small, those are all a part of your path. And connect those dots. Take an opportunity here and see where that leads. Take an opportunity there and see where that leads. You have more assets than you give yourself credit. Take a stock of your assets emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, community-wise, family-wise. What things do you have that can not only make a difference in your life, but make a difference in the world? And the last tip is find your time. And by that, I mean, maybe you're not in a place where you should launch something new. Maybe right now the goal is to learn and to grow, to take stock of your assets, to position yourself, to put down roots. Just because you have a dream doesn't mean now is the time to fully launch that dream. A lot of things take preparation. But what I will say is that you should always be doing something that leads you closer to that goal. Find your why, find your purpose, find your team, find your path, and find your time. Go on that journey of finding you, like the animals that migrate from one location to the other. Constantly move towards being better for the world, but first being better for yourself. And you'll find one day it's man, I am happier than I thought I could be. And it's again okay if right now you're nothing is working. You know what? I've learned that those low places are actually some of the best training grounds that you can find. But I'm confident that you can do it, that you can live the life you dream of for yourself. And I don't know, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth whatever effort you invest. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that this was really helpful. Share this with a friend. Like this if you like this. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications so that you can see when the next video comes up. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Mwah.